The night smelled like roasted pine and disappointment. Grandpa's mansion glowed gold, the table stretching longer than our family ties ever did. My parents sat across from me, laughter painted over their greed. They didn't even wait for dessert before mocking the man who'd built everything we pretended to own. "Same game every year," my father chuckled, waving the envelope Grandpa had just handed him. "Fake checks for a fake family tradition." Mother joined in. "Oh, come on, Dad. Who still uses paper checks in 2025? I said nothing. I just looked at Grandpa, the way his hand trembled slightly, the way his eyes watched who was watching him. When my turn came, he handed me the last envelope. No smile, no wink, just a nod. I didn't open it. I tucked it into my coat, and I swear I saw the corner of his mouth twitch, just slightly. For years, my parents called him the old fool with too much land and not enough sense. They'd sold his cars behind his back once, said they were helping him simplify. They took control of his accounts, pretended to care about his health, and called it love. I used to believe them, until I found the letters he'd written to me when I was a child, unsent, stacked in his desk drawer. Words about legacy, about trust, about testing loyalty. He wrote like a man who knew the wolves lived inside his own home. That was the night I stopped defending my parents. The first real crack appeared last summer. I came home early one night, found my father in Grandpa's study, rifling through drawers. My mother stood guard by the door, whispering, "Hurry up." They didn't even flinch when I caught them. My father just smirked, holding up a folder. "Family business," he said. But the next week, Grandpa called me privately. His voice was weak but steady. "Do you trust them?" he asked. I hesitated, and that was enough for him to know. He said something that never left me. "If you ever want to see a man's truth, give him something he thinks he can take." So when Christmas came, I knew it wasn't about dinner. It was a stage. The checks, props. The family, audience, and suspects. I watched them. My parents didn't even wait until we left the mansion. In the car, they tore open the envelopes, laughed when they saw the 7-figure numbers printed on each one. "Printed from his old checkbook again," my father said. "Man's losing it." I stayed quiet, tracing the paper between my fingers. There was something different about mine. Heavier ink, a fresh signature. Grandpa's writing had always been neat, but this one looked deliberate, as if every letter was a decision. That night, I didn't sleep. I went online, checked the routing number. It was active, new. He'd opened a hidden account. I didn't tell them, not a word. Instead, I waited. Early morning, I went to the bank. The clerk looked at the check, scanned it, then looked at me, twice. "Miss," she said, her voice lowering, "this is legitimate, and very large." I asked her to clear it quietly. She did. By noon, the money was real, and so was the silence. At dinner the next evening, the family gathered again. Grandpa sat in his old leather chair, sipping tea like a man waiting for judgment. My parents came in first, furious. "The bank said the checks were invalid," my mother barked. "All except one," Grandpa said calmly. He turned his gaze toward me. My father's jaw tightened. "Her? You gave her the money?" Grandpa didn't even look at him. "I didn't give it. She earned it." The room went still. I could feel their anger, their disbelief curdling into something uglier. My father stepped closer, voice sharp. "You manipulated him, didn't you?" I met his eyes. I didn't have to. He lunged toward me, but Grandpa's cane hit the floor with a crack. His voice, old but unshakable, cut through everything. "You spent years taking what wasn't yours, the cars, the bonds, even my trust. You thought I was blind. I just wanted to see who'd still pretend after the money vanished." Then he looked at me. Pride, not pity. She didn't open hers. She waited. That's what real trust looks like. My parents stood there, frozen, cornered not by handcuffs, but by truth. When they left, the air felt lighter. For the first time in years, the mansion didn't smell like deceit, just pine and warmth. Grandpa handed me a small box. Inside, a key. "To the house," he said softly, "and to the legacy." I didn't thank him, I just nodded, the way he had last night. Now, as I stand in the study, the check framed on the wall, I think about what he said, about truth, about taking. My parents always thought wealth revealed power. They were wrong. Wealth reveals character. And at that Christmas dinner, Grandpa found out exactly who had any left.